Hello and welcome back to the Walk Cook Walk outdoor cooking channel. Today I'm going to be cooking a caveman's dinner. It's going to consist of steak, eggs and tender stem broccoli. Hopefully things that I would say a caveman would be able to find. He may not have been able to find tender stem broccoli because I'm sure that's something that we've cultivated ourselves possibly. But I'm pretty sure he would have been able to find some sort of greenery that was edible back then. And yeah, I look a bit like a caveman, I suppose, so it's quite fitting. But anywho, I am 2.67 miles in. It's a bit of a longer one today. I haven't bored you with all the footage of me walking and all that jazz because the cookout is probably going to take a while because the steak is flipping huge. It's a T-bone steak that my mum managed to get for me, reduced. It was supposed to be like £16 odd, and I think I got it for about £5, £5.5 or something. See what it's at. 14 degrees and I'm sweating. Like I said, I always run hot. Just hot stuff, man. That's what it is. I'll be back home and a little bit closer to where we're going. Right, so I'm just going up a hill, which is going to bring us close to where I need to be. We're going to get set up and we're going to cook this steak. Used to ride around here quite a bit. There's a nice little walk you can do up and around this bit. It's called Alexandrina Plantation and it's off Thoresby Road in Wollerton / Bramcote. One leads into the other, so we'll let them argue it out as to where the woodland is. Whew. Always ride down this and I don't think I've ever walked up it. Oh. It's a bloody good hill. Doesn't look it, but that shit's steep. Right, so just over the 3 mile mark to get here. I planned the route on Google Maps just to give an idea of how far away it was, to see whether I'm up to the challenge of walking it. And I might regret my decision once I've got a belly full of steak. But I've been here before, it's nice. Sadly, again, like I say, there won't be a live, which I'm gutted about because I do like the pressure of having to figure it out there and then without the magic of editing bits out. I'll put you that way then. The sun's not in the way. Got some lovely bluebells coming up over there, look. Probably can't even see them, but they're there. There's some down here as well. Birds be tweeting. Yeah, so got a bit of a short walk to get to it. I don't think there's a shortcut. It looks like there's a bit of a path going that way. That might take me there, but then I'm going to have to go down to come back up. And I don't want to do that. Are you all right?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, enjoying the sun. Yeah, definitely. So I think there might be a little path there, you know. But this must lead to the path. It feels like it's going to. I'm going in the right direction. Maybe. But we'll have a look if anyone's there. And if they are, I'm going to have a quick rethink as to where it is that I'm going or where I plan to go. Again, this is that brush. It's not the gorse that I was on about. This is gorse. Gorse has got some absolutely horrendous spikes on it. And that's how you can tell the difference between gorse and, I want to call it Highland brush, but it might be called something else. What I should have done is Googled it and found out what it was actually called. But this is where we're going to be cooking. There's no one here, so found Dabby Dozy. Got myself a massive platform of sandstone and a nice bit of woodland surrounding me. Quite open as well, so it's we'll be catching the sun. There's a bit of a breeze, but that doesn't matter. I've got a storm stove. I could do anything. Right, let's get us set up. Okie dokie, setup complete. I'm going to record the prep, but it will be sped up. Just because you don't want to listen to me waffle on whilst getting annoyed trying to peel the smallest onion in the world. Now, normally when I buy shallots, I buy the more expensive ones because they're longer, they're easier to peel, and you get more onion. But they didn't have the ones I normally buy, so I had to do this. I had to lower my standards of onion. I'm not happy about it. But anyway, we're going to chop up some onions. Is what we're going to do. Or shallots, as they are also known. These are shallots. So a shallot is an onion, but not all onions are shallots. Shut up, Gaz. Chop the flipping onions already. Okay, so that's the shallots done. They're a pain in the backside, those ones. They're just so small and fiddly. I mean, look at it. There's hardly any flipping shallot there, but they are really, really nice. So I used 3. I brought 5 with me, but I'm not going to need 5. I used 3. Now, this peppercorn sauce is actually a recipe that's from Kitchen Sanctuary, so go check her out. I am going to tag her in below because it was her recipe, and I tried it before, and like I say, I ran out of fuel. So we've got 2 burners and extra fuel today, so we're going to do this one way or another. The sun's buggered off, and there's grey clouds coming in. Not sure whether it was meant to rain today. But anyway, we'll do it in the rain if we have to. As the cavemen would. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get some fire going. With one of the spirit burners, which we're going to put into the stove. So now we're going to ignite that fuel. Actually, we're going to top it up. We want as much fuel in there to begin with as possible. Makes sense. Because otherwise we're going to have to take it out and start again, which I don't really want to do. We're going to strike that, get some flame going, wait for it to bloom, which is a perfect opportunity to say cheers to you guys. So yeah, welcome to all new subscribers. Nice to have you on board. I hope you enjoy the content as much as I enjoy making it. This is my little reset button in an extremely busy life, I suppose. I'm always doing something, always got this doing and that doing. I've got an allotment, a dog, kids, 3 channels. I'm a busy man. And this one's my chill out channel, where I just go sit in the woods and I cook something, and it's pretty much as simple as that. So we need to melt some butter. No, we don't, because we're not doing that part first. I'm getting ahead of myself. We do the peppercorn sauce last, while the steak's resting. In fact, no, we do the eggs last, but we do the peppercorn sauce penultimately, which is almost last. So I'm going to lift these tabs up. Need to position that towards the wind. You've got these little holes on the side. You point them towards the direction of the wind, and it feeds it oxygen. Now, a couple of these non-stick pans, they seem to have been getting marks on them, inside them. All of them have over time. Now, I'm not sure whether it's something that I've done. I'm not bothered about the outside like there. Although it looks a bit tacky, it's the inside part that I'm worried about, because that means it's then no longer non-stick, Is that even straight, dude? I don't think it is. I'm forever faffing with things. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, Rodney. That'll do. So look at the size of this steak I've got, guys. It is an absolute monster of a thing. Look at the flipping size on that. I should have let it drain out the blood, actually, shouldn't I? Yeah, that'd have been a good idea. Anyway, let's heat up some oil while we wait for that. Plenty of oil. We only need a little bit for the peppercorn sauce. And there should very well be some left to do the eggs and the broccoli, which the eggs and broccoli should be able to be done at the same time, if there's enough room. Did I even get the broccoli out? Yeah, I did. Got some tender stem broccoli. Now, this meal was actually something, when I used to go to the gym, me and a mate went, and he says, come back to mine, dude, and I'll cook you some scran. I was like, go on then. We were going to be hanging out anyway, so he thought, cook some scran. And he cooked this, and it was steak, eggs, and tender stem broccoli. And it was gorgeous, man. It was exactly what I needed after being at the gym. So that's what we're doing. Caveman style. And I'm not sorry. Right, that's heating up nicely. Go away, wind. You're not invited to this party. Don't overflow. Why would you listen to me? I'm not sure which way you do it first. I don't think it matters. It only just fits. I don't want to wipe it on my trousers. I really don't care. Shorts, actually. Now, I'm not putting any salt in this, because last time I did it, it was very salty. And I don't really want to over salt it, because the beef stock that's going to be going into it has also got salt in. So quite a lot of salt as well. And we're using quite a thick or a strong beef stock for it. So a bit of Kashmiri chili flake, or the chili flakes are available. We've got a bit of brandy, which I'm very tempted to drink some of, but that is the exact amount I need. So we will not be drinking any, unfortunately. Okay. That's the eggs. We've got a bit of pepper. This is what we're going to be using for the peppercorn sauce, but at the same time, I'm going to be seasoning with it as well. So I'm just going to take a bit of the stuff that's ground, and we're just going to pepper it up like so. Put in the full peppercorns back in. Just enough, Just enough. That's all you need. Could take a while to cook. So, you know, bear with me. What I might even do is at certain points just skip it over to the time lapse. Bit of that. I'm going to put my bloody jumper on. It's gone cold now, the sun's buggered off. Typical, isn't it? As soon as I set up, the sun bloody goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. There ain't no sunshine while she was here either. Anyway, that's back to front. Can I do it without taking my hat off? No, you're going to see the bold. Oh, that's better. Yeah, T-bone steak. Massive thing. Massive. Do you know what I didn't bring? I didn't bring tongs to turn it over with. I have got other bits and bobs that I'm sure I can use, you know. Got these and I'm sure I'll be all right. What's the worst that could happen? He says. When the worst quite often does happen. Let's tidy our rubbish as we go. Normally I put it into a pile, but because I'm in like an area where it's, let's say, kind of public, you know, there is a path, that pathway down there that separates the two bits of woods. You've got Sandy Lane, which is that side, and then you've got Alexandrina Plantation. Or is it all Alexandrina Plantation? I don't know. I don't know. And do you know what? I don't care either. It's a nice little bit of woodland. There's a massive rock that you can stare down into the woods. I mean, I'll show you. While that's cooking away, it's going to be all right. I'll go down here and it will show you how flipping steep the actual thing is. I'm going to go down to that tree. I'll be very careful. Oh, like I say, it goes down really, really quick. Can you see me? Nearly lost it then. Oh, like I say, it drops down quite a way. But it's good. It's cool. It's pretty cool being up on top of the hill as well. Got bluebells growing around. Really nice bit of woodland. I know I say that a lot, but it really is. What I should do really is keep turning that, because it's on a slight angle, and it means all the fat's coming down to this side instead of being even. But you know, such is life. Just waiting on the steak, which is hissing and popping as it goes. We'll give it a few more minutes like that, and then we'll flip it over, season the other side, because it's all about that flavour. I think we should flip it and see what's happening. I think it's safer to use my knife and this spork. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ooh. It's spitting fat all over my legs. Anyway, I'm not going to go in with the chili again, but I am going to go in with the pepper. I think the chili that we put on the other side will be plenty enough. We don't want to use too much of this because this is what's going to be making our peppercorn sauce. Like the main ingredient, the pepper. That's got a nice bit of a crust on it as well, that has. So let's talk about the issue with the sound. I did notice that one person, I saw a notification saying that he uses Android, Jason. So I didn't see the rest of the message. So I'm not sure whether he's actually had the same issue or whether it's his sound was okay. But yeah, it's a bit horrendous. So we can't be doing the lives because of that very reason. But at the same time, you know, there's still going to be videos posted. It's just I need to try and figure out why it's doing that to then be able to rectify the problem to be able to do the lives again. Because like I say, I like the pressure of it. I like the way you got to think there and then. You know, you can't edit your mistakes out. You've just got to deal with it as it is. I just thought, how am I going to fit the eggs and the broccoli on the plate as well as this flipping steak? I've only got a poxy little plate, look. It's probably about this. It's probably about the same size as the fry pan. I might just cut a piece off the steak because there's no way I'm going to be able to eat all that. I think I ate a massive chunk of it when we had it the other day, and there was still some left for the day after. A good portion left for the day after, you know. So the beer that I just poured was a Camden Hell's Lager. Really nice lager, that. It's a craft lager, so it's not like a normal lager. It's got a bit more of a malty flavour, a bit more of a colour. Obviously, you can't see it because it's in the horn, but birds just be busying. It's like a 360-degree audio. Right, while that's cooking anyway, I want to bring you over here and show you the gorse. So there's a saying, right? When gorse is out of bloom, kissing's out of season. But these, my fingers just smell like steak and peppercorns, but they have a coconut fragrance. And they're hella spiky. Got loads of spikes. But they're always in bloom. They bloom all year round. So, yeah, kissing never goes out of fashion. So line up, ladies. But yeah, Claire, a lady who I think she's in Scotland. A warm mug in a wild place. That's it. Yeah, my memory is terrible. As you all know. But yeah, she had the gorse. I'm sure she had gorse on one of her videos, which is why I came here, because I knew there was gorse. And I like this spot. It is further away, but I'm trying to get longer walks in because I'm going to be doing a sponsored walk in the Peak District for Diabetes UK. Now, I actually contacted Diabetes UK because they weren't actually on the list of charities. So I emailed somebody who I'd been speaking to anyway, and they contacted their manager and then went higher up, and they've actually added themselves to it now. So they're a registered charity for the Ultra Peak District Challenge or Ultra Peaks Challenge, something like that. But I'm going to be walking 10 miles in the Peak District, and I'm going to be cooking myself something while I'm out there as well. Why wouldn't you, you know? Halfway around, just pull out Trangia stove and cook something. I'm not quite sure what it is I'm going to cook, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Always tempted to have a look. I think it's about done, you know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's done. Most definitely. Okay, so I've got a bit of parchment paper to pop it on while we do the peppercorn sauce. This is the part where it could all go wrong. We don't want to drop it. Right. Fantastic. Now what I need to do is take that off the flame. Okay, so we drop these flaps down now, and we're going to make the peppercorn sauce, which isn't as hard as you think. Now, a lot of these things, people believe that they can't do it and it's difficult. Now, I'm not a trained chef. Chef? Can't even speak English. I'm not a trained chef. I'm not even a trainee chef. I have no chefing skills or training or anything. I'm just a dude who won't accept no for an answer. I've just got a can-do attitude, and sometimes I can't, and I will open my hands up and I will say, look, I ballsed up, I couldn't do it. But you've got to bloody try. Failure is part of it. You're gonna balls up, things are gonna go tits up, you're never gonna nail it 100% of the time, but you've just got to try, man. Try. I guarantee if any of you who don't do this, get yourself a stove and go out and do this, you'll be hooked instantly. You might not want to record it, and that's fine, mate. There's nothing that says you got to record when you're outdoors. I started recording it, and a mate of mine said, you should make a YouTube channel for this. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I will. I'll tell you what we'll do as well. We'll get some of that flavour in there, because that's going to be packed with flavour. We'll bring all the crispy bits that it's left behind as well. There's a bit more oil instead of adding extra oil to it, which we could have done, but there's no need really. There's no need. So we're going to melt the butter like so. Probably about a tablespoon of butter, I think it was. And a little bit of oil if you haven't got any left over from the cooking of the steak, which is sat there resting nicely. In with your shallots. And you want to cook them off until they're nice and soft. Let's try and break them up a little bit while they cook. I might have to swap out the burner soon because the fuel's running out. So what I'll do is, while I think about it, I'll get the other one ready, because I think this one needs filling up. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's got anything in. Oh, Gordon Bennett, who closes these damn things? It's me, I close them. Because I'm an absolute unit. I'm not. I've got a 6-pack though. 6-pack of beer. Yeah. Now, because of the size of the steak, that's why it's taken so long for it to actually cook it. But, I've got all the time in the world. I've got nowhere to be. It's the weekend. Kids are going to sort themselves out. We've got a bit of a stick in there. We don't want no sticks. Thank you. Where's that falling from? Oh, maybe the tree above me. So, shallots are pretty good going. Because they're so small, they cook really, really quickly. So, you would normally put in a bit of salt. In her recipe, she used a bit of salt, but because we're using the beef stock, I'm not going to. So, in with your black pepper, crushed black pepper, and, a good pinch of whole black peppers as well. Because peppercorn sauce has a mixture of both in, doesn't it? Mix it all in. Like so. Just give it a couple of minutes to heat through. That allows the flavour to come out of the pepper. Then you're going to go in with a splash of brandy. That's probably a bit too much brandy, but doesn't matter. It'll be all right. You're going to put in some Worcestershire sauce, probably about a teaspoon. So probably about that much. Yeah. Because we always measure, you see. The stock. Where did I put the stock? And yeah, your strong beef stock. So I used about 100 ml of water for this. In it goes. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to reduce that by about half. You're going to let it come up to the boil. Let it simmer away until it reduces by half. So we'll do a time lapse because it can take 5 minutes. It can take 10 minutes. I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take out here. But you want your peppercorn sauce to be thick. So you want to try and get as much of the liquid off it first. So I'll be back shortly. I'll run a time lapse of the pepper sauce doing its thing. Once it's reduced by about half, we're going to add the cream. So I figured out how I got the wide angle lens on it again. So that's what we're doing. We're doing it wide angle, baby. I just like it because although I can't see myself and what I'm doing, it doesn't really matter. Because what I want to be able to see is what's surrounding me, you know? That's kind of what matters. Anyway, this is reduced down by half now. So we're going to add the cream. Now, I brought extra cream. It says about half a cup of cream. So I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to mix it in. And I'm going to see what becomes of it. Because I don't want to overdo it. And I don't mind taking some back home with me. I think a little bit more then, actually. I probably put enough in to begin with when I top this up. But I just wanted to make sure that I had enough instead of not having enough, you know. Now, having the extra fuel has helped a lot because now I can cook the rest of what I was doing. Last time I ran out of fuel whilst doing the peppercorn sauce because of how long the potatoes took. Because I did like little roast taters with the steak. I ate it and it was nice. I just didn't have a flipping nice thick peppercorn sauce with it. I had an extremely runny peppercorn sauce with it. So we're going to let that simmer for a short while. Let it just thicken up ever so slightly. Make sure that the cream's cooked into it. I'm actually going to put the simmer ring on. Now, there's not a lot of fuel left in that, so what I'll probably do is I'll let it go until the fuel is finished, and then we'll be back to cook the rest of it. Okay, that's reduced by half. I'm going to swap out the fuel now because that one is pretty much empty. It's literally running on fumes. I'm going to pop that on the rock because then it won't harm or damage or kill anything. I'm going to close this off, which will snuff that flame out, take that off, pop that down here on the rock as well, because you don't want to be grabbing at that because that is going to be hot. We're going to pop in the new fuel because if you was to try and refill that now, there's a chance that the fuel might ignite because of the heat that it's at. So it's just not really worth the risk. So I always carry a spare because one is none, which I've learned from Island Jason. Do go check out his channel. Find your friends with Island Jason. We've got an amazing outdoor community. We all meet up on a Sunday. So I just realised I'm brandishing a knife. Waving flipping knife around. We all meet up on a Sunday. There's a YouTube channel called Hampshire Outdoors and Survival, and we all just sit there, have a chat, go through survival scenarios and, you know, things that you could do to help yourself in a situation where you're possibly crooked. and you know, things that you could do to survive, build a shelter, and it's really, really good. You know, everyone gets on, all have a laugh, a couple of beers, virtual beers, obviously. Why isn't that lighting? There we go. Yeah, so just go check out Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Check out Find Your Friends with Island Jason. Tell them that I sent you. Now that steak is going cold, but you know what? I don't care. Shh, it'll be all right. We're going to lift these tabs up. There's probably not enough oil in there. Or shall I cook them in butter? When we used to go to Wales on holiday, so I'm half Welsh. I've got a lot of family up in Wales. I don't even know where I was going with that, so that's going to get deleted. That was it. When we used to go camping, Mum went with a tent one year, and then came back with a flipping caravan attached to the car. Mum had a tow bar fitted and towed this caravan all the way back from North Wales to Nottingham. And that's how awesome my flipping mum is. So if you ever watch this, Mum, thumbs up. I know you won't, because you think I'm crazy. You think I'm crazy sitting in the woods. But maybe you're crazy not sitting in the woods. Hey, you ever thought about that? Anyway, as I was saying, my mum, it was the only time my mum used to cook. Like one time, we ran out of cooking oil. So she cooked the breakfast in butter. And they were the best eggs I have ever tasted in my life. So, as a homage to my mum, and all of our lovely time spent in North Wales, on holiday that is, yeah, I'm going to cook them in butter. I'm going to do the broccoli stems in butter and the eggs in butter. Now, I think these should cook at the same time. I think. Might need a bit more butter than that, you know. Get it in there. Just double down. And this beer is a Shipyard Portland, Maine, USA, American IPA. Really nice. Heavy on the bitterness of the hops. So not like a British pale, or even not like a British IPA. Really heavy on the bittering, but really, really nice as well. And you can pick that up in pretty much any supermarket in the UK. It is nice. I don't work for them. I don't get paid by them. It's just my opinion. I like it. And that's all that matters, really. It's my video, and I'll do what I bloody well like. I sit here with my hands in my pockets because they're cold while this bloody butter heats up. I'll tell you what I will do as well. I'm going to pop the lid on that peppercorn sauce. Try and keep that warm. I'm glad I had something for lunch, that's for sure. Because as always, it just takes longer than you expect it to do when you're doing it outdoors, because you're against the elements. Whatever you're trying to heat up is constantly cooling down. Come on, butter. Let's have you. Right. Eggs. Let's get them in. Everything's a tool. Nah, it wasn't even hot enough. Bugger. Ah, well, I'm sure it'll be fine. I might have to do the broccoli after. That's a question I've got for you. If you've got this far, thank you very much. But do you prefer shorts or long form videos? Now, for me, I'm long form video. I much prefer a longer explanation into things, to watch the craft of what people are doing, because I find that interesting. And I think a lot of it's lost these days with all these shorts and things that people do. Now, don't get me wrong. I put shorts out. I certainly do. But some people only do shorts. You don't get that long format anymore. People just tend to do shorts. And I think they're missing a trick. Because if you can captivate somebody's attention for let's say 30 minutes to an hour. Like I've got no qualms with watching an hour-long video, not at all. If it's on something that I like or a YouTube channel that I like, I'm quite happy to sit there for an hour and watch it. I might have to watch it in a couple of goes, but you know, still. So let me know, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the shorts? Not just mine, I mean in general, I mean the shorts, or do you prefer the long form videos that are more informative, less editing kind of thing? I've just realised as well, I am under spatulaed. I've got to try and flip these eggs with this. We might be having scrambled egg. Now, I can't cook the broccoli at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push it to the side for now. And let's divide them eggs. Oh, shit. Ouchie. That flipping hurt. You bugger. You absolute bugger, you. I'll try and flip it. Because it wasn't hot enough, it's kind of welded itself to the pan. I'll try and loosen it off. And then give it an old flipperoo. Because that's how I do my egg. Oh my gosh. Right, we've lost one. One egg is down. I didn't divide it properly, did I? We've lost an egg. I call them dead eggs at home. When I'm doing eggs and I say, right, one of the eggs is dead. The kids are like, oh. Yeah, we got a dead egg. But, you know, when you don't have the correct tools to do the job, what on earth do you bloody well expect? Right, I can move that up there now. Oh, shit. And then I can kind of stick them out like that. Let's get that steak on the plate. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take my good egg out because I want the yolk to be runny if possible. The dead eggs come in as well. Let's get the bits out of there. We don't want to waste it. Let's pop that down. Is it a runny egg? No, it's overdone. Of course it is. Let's quickly do this tender stem. Now it's spread out, it will cook a little bit quicker. Can I just flip it over? That's a very dumb idea, isn't it? To try and grab it like that. Well, with the amount of sand around here, that is dead again. I just put my fingers in my mouth and got sand in it. Why did I do that? I just nearly did the same thing again. Bear with me, guys. I'm saying done. I'm going to leave that to sizzle a second while I put this flame out. Right, let's get our tender stem. And we're just going to try and lay it on top of the part of the... so we can see the steak as well. Now, we want to see all of the steak, don't we? And yes, that's hot. Very hot. I don't recommend touching it with your bare fingers. And there we are. Caveman's dinner. I'm actually going to have to cut a piece off the steak to be able to fit it all on the plate properly before I add the peppercorn sauce. Otherwise, I mean, I'm going to go big. I'm going to go for this big chunkus McChunk face over here. I'll get it as close to the bone as I can, but you know, we're not really too fussed here. There we go. And I'll pop this in this pan. For now, let's turn that over so we can see the loveliness. I can move them over there now. Look at that. Oh, yes. Now let's add a bit of the peppercorn sauce. And we are absolutely laughing, ladies and gentlemen. The peppercorn sauce was the trickiest part, believe it or not. It's not all hot, but you know, you kind of accept that sometimes. But let's get some of this on there. We'll have it down the bottom here. And we can always take a dab of it, can't we, whenever we want it? Would you look at that? What a marvellous thing. I am so excited for this. Magic. We've got the peppercorn sauce on there. The eggs didn't turn out right because, yeah, they just got a bit too hot, but it is what it is. Let's get a bit of this on the go. Going in with the steak first. Oh, always forget that these folding things have a habit of flipping over. Nice chunky bit of steak. Let's grab a bit of egg on there. A bit of peppercorn sauce. The egg's falling apart. Chop a tender stem. Just get it in there. Definitely didn't need the extra salt. Oh my goodness. that is something else. Oh my gosh. The spice from the pepper, the bit of chili we put on, it's coming through. It probably would have been nicer if it was hot, but I am thoroughly going to enjoy eating this. There is no two ways about it. Oh, it's going again. Let's get another bit. I don't know how people like their steak. I'm not really fussy, but to me, that looks pretty decent. Yeah. There's a bit of sauce left as well. So all I need to do later is cook some potatoes. And I can have steak potatoes. And there is some tender stem left as well. So I'll get that used up as it's fresh. Absolute magic. Flipping hair. Everywhere I go. It's the tragedy of having long hair. But, sod it. Terrific. I mean, the steak's so thick, it's actually a chore to chew it. Anyway, I'm going to scoff the crap out of this. Get cleared up. Find somewhere to put this beef matter. Probably in one of the pots or something like that. Yeah, it could probably go in that. I don't want to leave it around for animals to be scratching, thinking that there's going to be food, and then them not get anything. And I'm certainly not leaving them a bit of steak. They can bugger off. Right. Time lapse. Scoff. Let's get packed away. Get out of here. Okay, so that is me done. The cookout went really, really well. The steak was a bit cold, but you know, you're outdoors, deal with it. This is where I was sat. There's no rubbish left, as you can see. And I'm about to go down there. So I shall bid you farewell, and I'll see you on the next one. Not sure what I'm going to be doing. Not sure where I'm going to be doing it. But there is most definitely a high probability that it's going to be flipping awesome. You guys take it easy, and I'll see you soon.